Hey, good morning everyone. It's going to be an on-bike video today. I'm up here in the La Habra Heights and do a little warm-up run on Arroyo San Miguel Trail. And we're going to make our way over to Turnbull Canyon and explore some dirt over there. I'm aiming for about 25 miles today, roughly 2,000 feet of climbing, with a decent mix of dirt and pavement. See how it goes. I'm on the Poseidon Redwood this morning, and for the money, this is an awesome sub $1,000 complete gravel bike. From a design standpoint, I really think that they got everything right with this bike to make it a capable off-road gravel machine. You got the Microshift Advent X 1x drivetrain, and it's clutched. It's really good when you're bombing down chunky terrain. The geometry is nice and relaxed. You got huge clearance for wide tires, and you get wide 46cm handlebars right out of the box. Now, full disclosure, Poseidon did send this bike to the channel for review, but this video is not about the bike in stock form. Now, like I said, out of the box, this bike is really good, especially for the sub $1,000 category. But with a few basic upgrades, you can really transform this bike into something else entirely. In this video, get my top 3 budget-conscious upgrades for your Poseidon Redwood. Oh, it's getting steep. Okay, so getting right into it, without a doubt, the upgrade with the highest benefit per cost ratio has to be compressionless brake housing. Now, I have a full video on the conversion for this bike, but essentially the idea is that compressionless housing uses axial wires in its core, as opposed to standard brake housing, which uses a spiral wound core, which tends to flex. And with that flex can sometimes come a squishy and vague feeling in the brakes. Now, the fact that the compressionless housing doesn't flex too much and has a low friction liner, it really transformed the braking on this bike. Definitely gave me a ton more confidence when descending, and really actually lets you ride a lot faster overall. Now, the Jaguar compressionless housing is kind of expensive. It's like $65 for a 10-meter roll, but it comes with enough to do several bikes. So, you know, if you split it with a couple buddies, the cost comes down quite a bit. I'll show it to you here. Doesn't look like much. It looks like standard housing, but it's not. Boom, compressionless housing. Game changer. Game changer? Yeah, I think it actually is a game changer. All right, let's go. All right, so I know what you're thinking. Really, compressionless housing, that's your top upgrade for the Poseidon Redwood. But I do have to reiterate, these are budget conscious upgrades, and for the money, it's just really hard to beat the improved braking performance with the compressionless housing. So I know you're thinking, why not like wheels and tires? Well, wheels and tires, in my opinion, are the next most transformative upgrade, but I didn't have them as a top because they're not necessarily budget conscious. Now, the wheels and tires that I upgraded to on this bike are the Mason X Hunt collaboration, the 650B alloy sort of adventure wheel set. As far as wheels go, for $479 US in mid-2022, I don't know. I think that's kind of a budget-conscious upgrade. And then paired with the Terravale Sparwood 27.5 by 2.1 inch tires, setup tubeless, this setup allowed me to drop 3.5 pounds from the bike. Pretty amazing. Now, I'm no weight weenie, but you can definitely feel 3.5 pounds dropped off of a bike that started at less than 30 pounds. I mean, you're talking more than a 10% reduction in weight for a total of, I don't know, $550 or $600, which is just crazy. Now, the internal width of these wheels is like 25 millimeters, which allows you to run these really fat tires with no problems. The depth is like 19 millimeters, which isn't a huge deal. What's pretty amazing though is that for the price point, they come in at under 1,600 grams for the pair. So seriously though, dropping 3.5 pounds off of a bike for $500 or $600, that's just unheard of. So for that reason, I put wheels and tires for the Poseidon Redwood at the second most transformative budget conscious upgrade. Whew, where are we going here? I think we should head down this way. Hey, yo! Nice work, man. All right. We are, I think, officially at the top, which means it's time to talk about the third budget conscious upgrade, which actually, now that I'm 20 miles in or so, I think I might bump this up to number 2. ahead of wheels and tires. And that's gonna be the touch points. So when we first got the bike, I had some pretty thin bar tape. I actually replaced it with some tape that Mark Cycling sent over. This is their tacky bar tape in black. Really similar to the Supergaz Galaxy tape, which is I think what they were trying to mimic. However, they sell it at half the price. And of course, got pedals. It comes with, you know, demo pedals, which are basically plastic pedals. They're not really intended to be your primary pedals. Most bike companies ship with some test ride pedals, and then generally you want to swap them out for your own preferred pedals, which in my case are 15-year-old Shimano M520s, like the lowest option basically. They've held up so well over the years. And lastly, the saddle. So the stock Poseidon saddle, it looks nice, and I'm sure, you know, it's a budget option, but it's not the most comfortable. It's not a split saddle, and it's relatively narrow. That's what I'm feeling most today. Soreness in the ascular region. Ascular? Anyway, so I'll bump the touch points up to number 2 in our list of the top 3 budget conscious upgrades for the Poseidon Redwood. So just to recap, compressionless housing, still a solid top choice. Honestly, I believe it's the first thing you should do if you get one of these. Your braking is going to improve substantially. And actually, I don't know if I'm supposed to mention this, but I did talk to Lewis from Poseidon, and they are aware of the issue with the brakes, and they are working to see if they can get at least an improvement in the brake housing, if not compressionless housing, stock on the Redwood. But don't quote me on that. That won't be coming for at least a year if they do something like that. And then bumped up from number 3 up into number 2. Again, we've got our touch points, bar tape, saddle, pedals. Makes a huge difference in personalizing the bike. And then lastly, it's a good one, it's a big one, but it is the most expensive one. Of course, we've got wheels and tires, which in this case are the Mason Hunt 650B Adventure alloy wheels. Pretty awesome so far, I like them. Sparwood tires, great off-road. And they roll okay on the road, but honestly, this bike is really biased for off-road riding, so that's where it really shines. And that is that. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Those are my top 3 upgrades for the Poseidon Redwood. I don't know, let me know what you think down in the comments. If you have a Redwood yourself, let me know what upgrades you've done. And as always, thanks for watching. Thanks again for subscribing if you haven't already. You know the rest. I'll see you next time. There's like no trail, it's so loose. Oh. Did some drift in there.